Alright guys, so it's been quite a while since I've given you an update on what my garden looks like currently. It is March, so we're now transitioning out of what was our fall winter planting seasons now into our summer pretty much, because spring doesn't really count so much for us down here in South Florida. So I'm just going to show you around the garden really quick and show you some of the things that I'm growing that's going to be taking us into the summer, and hopefully it'll give you some ideas as well. So to start, I've got here some calendula flowers. This variety is called Snow, and I've been harvesting them like every day, as you can tell from right here. And the thing about them is the more that you harvest them, the more that they give flowers. So this is just absolutely loaded up with buds right now. So I'm going to be harvesting these today as well. These are so beautiful, and they're really sticky, which is good because that means they've got a lot of medicine. In this same little box here, I've got Brazilian spinach. I think it's also called Hiiiiii, which is a really great green to grow in subtropical areas because it deals with the heat really well. And this tastes really good sauteed with a little bit of olive oil and garlic. I've got an eggplant here, more of that Brazilian spinach, some marigold seedlings, and these are melons that I'm trying for the first time. They're called Indian honey melons. They look almost like cantaloupe, and they're supposed to be really delicious, so let's hope that that takes off. I've got some greens left here from this past fall. So this is like a escarole. This is mizuna. It's still slightly wilted right now because I'm filming this like at the peak of sun and heat right now in the backyard. A little kale that's on the way out. And I don't know what kind of green this is. This is some sort of Asian green, but the texture is really amazing to eat as well. So these are some greens. In a little pot here, I've got some Cuban oregano. We've got some chives, which are currently flowering. So beautiful. I can't get over how beautiful chive flowers are. Look at that little bud, so cute. So up here we've got some dill. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous dill flower. This is one of my favorite flowers actually. As well as I love the herb. I love the foliage and the flavor. I eat it constantly. A little bit of Spanish needle in the back making an appearance. Anti-inflammatory, also edible. We've got collards. This is the Vates variety, which is supposed to be slightly smaller leaves, better for containers as well. We've got, so this is like my little permaculture bed I've got going on here. I could talk more about that in another video if you guys are interested in how I set this up. I just pretty much layered it a ton, and it's been slowly rotting away and, you know, enriching itself over time. So in this bed, nasturtiums, some chamomile, which this might not work till summer, but I started a little late here. These are some zinnias that also have seen better days. Some black-eyed Susans, really beautiful. Some parsley. This parsley is so luscious, and I just want to show you the look at that stem. This is just a little weed. Look at that. You can also harvest the root. Parsley root is supposed to be really medicinal as well, but I just love it for the leaves. We've got a little bit of yellow Swiss chard. This is a beautiful arugula I have flowering right now. Really big guy. some sorrel right here. Really lemony, delicious leaves. If you've never heard of this before, it grows well down here in South Florida, and it's very, very, very delicious. I got a little white ginger right here growing. I actually have here a little sweet potato, which I didn't realize I had. That was like a little sneak attack sweet potato growing. I didn't realize. Got some kale and some dandelion greens. So actually here along this trellis I have my yard-long beans, which I just planted not too long ago. So they're going to be going up on this trellis. I absolutely love the taste of them, and they produce so much food. So that's definitely one of my summer crops that I always have going. Let's see, my little compost. We've got the sweet almond. Attracts tons of pollinators. Really gorgeous and smells amazing. Delphiniums that are on the way out. Some Spanish heather, which the bees absolutely adore. Here's my little dragon fruit area. Got a few different varieties here actually. I don't know what varieties I have besides this one. I do know is Vietnamese giant. Here's some blanket flower, which actually all the petals have dropped off, but new buds are starting. In this pot, I did have sun gold cherry tomatoes, which have just finished. And now I have an echinacea coming back up, which I had planted months and months and months ago. So now it's actually coming alive. And these are dollar store irises, I believe. I just wanted to see if they would grow, so I'm not holding my breath, but so far so good. We've got some more calendula over here. I don't know the name of this variety. This is just more of like a standard calendula. So beautiful. In this pot, I have a little pepper here, which the ducks ate, so it might not make it, and a bunch of garlic that looks pretty sad. This was an experiment this year. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna try harvesting in May. This is another plant here. I actually forgot the name of it, but it produces these flowers that the bees absolutely love. And it's in the same family, I believe, as aloe. And you can actually use the leaves the same way as aloe. Let me see if I can show you. You see how it's like, how it has that liquid, little gel center, just the way that aloe does. So this can actually be used in first aid as well. I forgot the name. If you know the name of this plant, please write it in the comments below so I can remember. Here we've got some tilo. So this is used as a calming herb to make, you'd make tea out of it, almost like a chamomile, and it relaxes you. It grows so easily down here, and the flowers are so pretty. It just gets completely covered in purple little flowers. And I do find that the bees really like that one as well, actually. Here's a little random milkweed I have. Here, I believe this is called a moonflower or something like that. Not the traditional moonflower vine, but this had a name like that. I don't really remember. This is just like a little annual I just picked up just for some show here. Some Costa Rican mint. Grows really, really, really easily down here. This is a perennial. Smells like mint, tastes like mint. You can make tea from it. And actually the pollinators like these really, really tiny flowers as well. Behind it, I have the queen, the tropical verbena. What's the name? Lipa, Biden's Lipa. Write it in the comments below. I always forget the name of this, but it smells just like lemon, and the bees love it as well. So over here I have a papaya growing, which is actually a bit diseased, and some random little bits growing around the base. When it becomes a little bit more developed, I'll show you guys. Here's some more garlic I have growing. In general, the garlic in my garden looks sad, except this one, which apparently is growing extremely thick, which is a good sign. Sure, I'll take it, that's fine. Here I've just got some snapdragons, rosemary, marigolds, thyme. I've got some more rosemary right here. And then here I've got some Chinese pink celery. I actually need to water my garden. I shouldn't have picked this thyme. This thyme is like too dry and hot. Some sage. Japotacaba growing here, otherwise known as Brazilian tree grape. I've got some orchids, desert rose underneath this bougainvillea. Some raspberry right here. Down here, this is like my little perennial bed pretty much. Oh, here's a little like Gerber daisy that my son planted. Super cute. Sweet potato greens, which I absolutely love eating. So here's a sweet potato here and another one here, which actually I need to grab because it's starting to grow up and I want it to cover the floor here and kind of create a little living mulch. These are some cannas I planted. If you follow me on Instagram, you already heard my rant about this, about how they produce starchy tubers that you can eat, apparently like a potato. So that was my whole point of growing them. And again, some more of these dollar store bulbs. I picked up gladiolus and irises just for fun, just to see if they would grow. So far they're growing. I have random little watermelon seedlings here too that I planted. We're just gonna try it all out, you know? Beautiful shrimp plant. False oregano. Smells just like oregano, smells really good. And then we've got my honeysuckle up here. Banana, which is giving me bananas right now. Super beautiful. Society garlic, which my boys absolutely love eating the flowers from. They taste so garlicky. And I read that you can also eat the greens of them as well. Perennial peanut, also acting as a little mulch, trying to bring it down to my grass. Some aloes flowering, really gorgeous amongst the bananas. I've got my plantain patch here. Broadleaf purple plantain, narrow leaf plantain, more dill, comfrey, blue porterweed for the butterflies, as well as this Eaton butterfly giant milkweed. Guava and blue butterfly. Butterfly pea. So my tacky ass neighbors decided to come out and start making a bunch of noise. So that was pretty much the whole garden review. I just kind of want to show you an update on what a garden looks like, or what my garden looks like in subtropical South Florida, getting ready for the summer. So going from March into the summer. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I haven't given you a garden tour in quite a while. And if you have questions about anything you've seen, or you want me to elaborate on any of the topics mentioned in the video, then go ahead and just leave a comment below. Otherwise, to the next one.